Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his extra special guest, Casey from Brick by Brick Wealth. How you doing, Casey?
I'm doing good, Mike. Thank you so much for having me back.
Absolutely. So we're gonna age ourselves a little bit, me more than you, but you and I together have been doing this 30, 40 years, right? This real estate game. We've seen quite a bit of stuff
Yeah.
uh, over the last several decades. So I'm gonna ask you to look inside your broken crystal ball.
Okay.
We can talk nationally, and then obviously you have experience in Memphis, so I'd love to hear. But when we step back and look at the economy, right, the national numbers with interest rates now mid fours for homeowners and possibly exceeding five for investors very soon. What do you see going on in the real estate market? Do you see everybody's talking about a big crash? Do you see a crash in prices or maybe a crash in transactions?
I don't. I don't. And I don't think there's going to be a market crash in real estate unless it's like an economy, we're getting bombed sort of situation. Because the deal is that there just aren't enough houses, period. There's not enough inventory. And all of these other like YouTube videos and people that I follow that have done the research and, I've seen the graphs. No, in 1970s, they did a lot of new builds. Okay. We have not even, and think of the population increase, even from the 70s to now, a population increase, keep that in mind. They still built more houses in the 70s than they have at any time since then.
Yeah.
And in 2000, 5, 6, 7, before the market crash, they built. And in my opinion, once the crash happened, there were ghost towns. I remember Southern California and Corona and Temecula. And
Oh
all
yeah,
those
Temecula. Woo!
They had amazing, beautiful developments with, $1 million houses at that time. And they were ghost towns. Nobody could buy them. They couldn't give them away for free hardly. And I think builders got scared and they're like, we're not going to ever do that again. And so it's been, all these years from 2008, 9 that they've not really built anything. They've been real skeptical and scared of losing their businesses.
Yeah.
And they're just now like, okay, we can do this. We can build more houses. We can do it. And, I was looking into Utah area, Salt Lake, and they're, because we're like, oh, where can we move? We love Memphis, but where is better? And we love the mountains and miss it. So we looked into there, and I saw on some website 130 builders, 130 different builders over in the Salt Lake area building. So builders are getting more, they're getting more confident, in my opinion, and they're building more. So there's not going to be a market crash. There still aren't enough homes. And I think if there is some sort of, slowdown or, high interest rates maybe, and people are going to not buy as much, I call BS. People are still going to buy them. They still don't have enough houses. People still want to move. And I think that if there is any sort of like slowdown or let up and not as much competition, people are going to be like, woohoo, now I can finally get something.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's really going to go away.
Yeah. What is the inventory like in Memphis, say now versus when you started? Is it like cut in half? Is it more or less? Yeah. Any idea?
Well, properties are going same day.
Wow.
So,
and that's not normal.
No. when I moved here in 2013, I remember when we moved here, we were looking for our primary. We lived in California, so we technically kind of bought out of state. We did fly here for 2 days, and we looked at 20 houses one day and 20 houses the other day, and we just made offers. I didn't really know the area very well, just except for the research. But then we had 40 houses active available to look at in 2 days, and there were more in 2013. Now, if you go to look, there's hardly any that are just active or for sale. They're all pending or contingent. They're all going over asking, and unfortunately, the locals with regular jobs are having a hard time getting their offers accepted because they're competing against these out-of-state and even local all cash buyers at this price point under 200,000, which is entry level for a lot of people. It's not happening. And so they're having to stay renting because they can't use their FHA loan, their any first time home buyer. Even Memphis is putting out credits for homeowners to buy, will help pay for your closing costs because they want locals to buy owner occupied in the city and not just be investors. But they're going same day. They're going for all cash over asking in almost any condition. and it's just still really hot.
Yeah. And really what I see with Memphis, how big is Memphis? Is there like 1 million people there? I have no idea.
The number that comes to mind is 650,000.
All right.
I'm not
So,
sure. I'd have to Google that.
yeah. So let's call it 700,000 between friends. That's it. Is Memphis the largest city in Tennessee, or is that
I think Nashville is now,
Nashville? Yeah.
but it used to be. But
Okay.
Nashville is more. It's better.
Would you say it? So if your entry level in Memphis is sub 200, is Nashville over 200?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just forget about it. Even like an hour drive out of Nashville. Good luck.
Yeah. Okay. So when we look at Memphis now, we in video 2, we talked about a deal. You're hoping to get 1,500. What would that deal have rented for in 2013, 14 when you got your first rental property? Any idea?
Yeah. So that exact area. So this is the thing people need to realize: when you invest in A, B, C, or D class areas, the better the neighborhood, the faster the appreciation. The better the neighborhood, the more rent appreciation. The higher the rents get, faster. So I invest in a B class area and a C class area. The B class area that we bought this house in this week, we're gonna rent it for 1,400 to 1,500 when it's all done. But this exact same house, 5, 6 so years ago, would have rented for 1,000, 1,050.
Okay.
So it's gone up, $400 bucks.
Yes, 50% roughly, right? 1,000.
But now, 15 minutes away in my C class neighborhood, rents are, well, I have houses rented there for like 3 again, same sort of house, rent in the C class area for $950.
Oh, wow.
Rents now in that area are $1,100.
Okay.
And I know this because I have students that are investing in this neighborhood, and also have recently talked to a couple top property managers actually yesterday, and gotten real specific numbers on some houses. So yes, 1,100 for 3 1s in this C class area, whereas a few years ago it would have been, high 8s, like 850, 900.
Yeah.
So it didn't go up as much, maybe a couple $100,
And again, 15 minutes away.
Yeah. Yeah. And I live in Germantown. So I live in a Memphis suburb.
Okay. All right. So when we look at Memphis and Tennessee specifically, I don't see any reason it's going to slow down. It's still as we said earlier, I think video 1, a red state. I still see population, no state income tax. It's one of 5 or 6 states that have that. You're getting more and more employers coming to Tennessee. I don't see any reason why to think it's going to slow down. And what do you think?
I know there's no way. We just got a couple years ago, we got a brand new Amazon facility in northern Mississippi, which northern Mississippi is 15 minutes away from downtown Memphis. So northern Mississippi is a suburb of Memphis.
Gotcha.
We're right on the border of like Arkansas to the left, Mississippi to the south. There's they're real close, within minutes, less than 30 minutes. So, and then I hear that there's a Ford battery plant or something going in, and more of an eastern, middle of nowhere sort of Memphis. So I'm thinking I've got to keep an eye on that area, because it's supposed to bring, I don't know how many tens of thousands of jobs, and they're going to need housing. So it's like, I can just imagine in my mind these developers coming in and building huge apartment complexes, and all of this kind of rural area won't be rural anymore, because it's going to be this community built around, this new Ford plant. So it's like, because it's so business friendly and no income tax, people and businesses are coming to Tennessee.
Yeah, they're flocking to and the weather, as we talked about as well, is generally speaking pretty good.
It's pretty good compared to getting no snow, so it's not going to be super cold. You might get snow once a year, and that's fun, and then it's over.
Yeah, it's gone. Don't worry.
Yeah, it doesn't really get in the 90s or above. It might be in the high 80s, and you feel like it's in the 90s.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, but you do have humidity, right? So.
Yeah, you do have humidity, but I've also been to Houston, and it's nothing like Houston.
Yeah.
It's nothing like South Florida.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about California. The one thing I'm just not comfortable with is humidity, right? We don't have that here.
I know. I'll tell you, I miss it. I'm a shorts and rainbow flip-flop sort of girl with a tank top. Like, that's my preferred outfit.
Yeah.
And when I get in my car in Memphis, I stick to my seats, and when I get in my car in California, I don't. I love dry heat. I love not sweating in my clothes.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, hey, I'm curious, are you still, because you talked about Utah and get back to the mountains. Do you see yourself continuing to invest in Memphis because you got it wired in, or if you move, will you change markets, or have you thought about that?
I think that if we move, we'll stay in Memphis, but that I'm gonna try and stay in the better neighborhoods. They cost more, but I don't care. I gaff. And Germantown, where I live now, it's a really affluent, nice suburb, and there's still houses in the low 300s here. And I would love to buy these. And the matter of fact, across the street from me where I live, so I bought my house in 2013 for $235,000. It's a 3,000 square foot house and it has a pool, and it's almost a quarter. It's over a quarter. Maybe it's almost half an acre. Really nice. Live on a cove / cul-de-sac, whatever you want to call it. And love it. Great neighborhood. Great rated schools. If I rented my house, I could get probably $3,000 a month for it.
Oh,
my
wow.
mortgage is like $1,400. Now I wouldn't do it because I have a pool. My husband's like, we could rent this out. I'm like, I don't want to rent it out with a pool. Yeah. But across the street, there's a house that's going for rent. Now this is a 90-some% owner occupied city, just so we're aware. There's hardly any rentals, but happen to have one across the street. And they're asking $3,200 a month for rent for it. And it's a 5-bedroom, 2.5 bath. And so, and the houses in my neighborhood are, we're in one of the cheaper neighborhoods of Germantown. Okay. And it's a good cash flowing area, even in an A-class sort of city. So I would love to start buying houses here. Just need a little bit more
would money. You just crazy question. Do you ever think about 1031ing out of one of your C-class? Maybe you bought early, so there's the most equity into one of those?
I thought about it. We're so close to having those paid off though, because we bought them when they were $60,000 and $70,000. Like most of the houses I only owe like $40,000 left on it. So it's like, I could just like pay that off and keep the whole $1,000 a month rent, except for taxes and insurance. But I do think that if we did move, the 3 or at least 2 of the ones that are in the worst area, I would consider 1031ing into a better neighborhood, because I just want better quality tenants. I don't want to have to worry. And I do feel like with the network that I have, I could probably self-manage from afar.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I would do again, right? We added a bunch of C-class stuff in the last crash. If the market goes where I think it's going to go and affordability crashes, affordability goes down, which means prices go up. That's just how it works. The math works. I might 1031 out of some of my C-class houses into B plus A minus areas, basically A areas with just older homes. So that's definitely a strategy I'm looking at.
Because I feel like, the importance now of getting better quality tenants, I feel like that is way more important now than it used to be. Because with the government's, infiltration into our lives and then, the whole eviction moratorium that we encountered last year, it's like, well, what else can they do?
Yeah.
And so you don't know what's going to happen in the future with government regulation. As far as control over your own properties, even if you're in a landlord-friendly state. I mean, that moratorium was nationwide.
Yeah, 50 states.
Yeah. So it's like, I need tenants that care about their credit scores. I need tenants that would feel embarrassed to be evicted. They will do anything they need to do to make their rent payment.
Yep.
I need tenants like that. And I'm going to find those tenants that, in B and A class areas that have 6-figure incomes and have reputations. And so I need those types of tenants, in my opinion, moving forward to just feel more secure.
Yeah, that's great advice. Casey, where can people find you?
Sure. You can find me on Instagram at Brick by Brick Wealth. I'm on there daily. I put out a lot of, in my opinion, informational content to help people get started on their journey investing in rental properties. And you can also go to my website if you want to see what I got going on. It's brickbybrickwealth.com.
Awesome, Casey. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for pitching in and helping the channel.